Good morning, my students from senior seminar class. This is Professor Davis, and I wanted to welcome you all officially to our senior seminar. We are in week 2. This is Thursday, September 2nd, and this is a quick video that I hope it's quick. It might be 5 minutes. Video about what you're doing, right? I hope you were able to review my long 17-minute video that I posted last week. I did that 2 years ago, and I didn't change it because it's the same information, just different dates. So pay attention to your dates, okay? So you are currently working on the annotated bibliography for the topic that I approved last week. I am going to, I got behind, but I'm working on this today, your research questionnaire, just so you know. I put a little announcement yesterday to revise that. And I'm going to send you some feedback in the grade book. Hopefully, students are giving you, your other classmates are giving you feedback in the discussion chat as well about your research question. The topic is just a general, I want to know about this. The question is, what are you going to find out about that topic? And that is what you're going to do your experiment on. Not really an experiment, but a study. Like you might do a questionnaire, you might interview people, you might do what we call, a synthesis of information where you get different sources and you compare and contrast. Content analysis is what that is. You might do something like that to find out the answer to your question. So that's why your question has to be very specific. Don't make it too big or you'll be confused, right? So I'm going to be giving you feedback on your question and might have you fix that, change that. Make sure that you're very clear on what you are going to study and find out when you actually conduct your study. So that's one thing, all right? So you'll be getting feedback for that tonight. But the annotated bibliography is very important. Do not skimp on this. This is setting you up to do your literature review that's due in week 5. The literature review is basically, it's like part of your paper, right? You're going to write about everything you know about your topic that's already out there, okay? And you are going to fill in the gap and answer that question that you just created in your study. Right? But the literature review tells the reader what's already known about your topic and your question. And you're going to take that further in the next part of the paper and actually do the study on it, on the question that you're trying to answer. But the bibliography is there for you to get organized. I want you to find 15 sources about your topic in general, and hopefully related to your question that you want to answer. That is, you're going to find 15 resources, and 6 must be research-oriented or peer-reviewed. So I don't want an article from Self Magazine. I want an article from the library that was written by a researcher who did research like you're doing. Okay? So, and it doesn't have to be directly related to your question, but it has to be about your topic, okay? And that way you can get as much knowledge as you can about what you're trying to find out. You are the expert here. You are the researcher. But you have to find out what other researchers have done first, which is why you do this bibliography. Now, the bibliography is not something that's going to be a part of your actual, paper. This is your resource that you're using to build your literature review. So you're going to find 15 sources, 6 that have to be peer-reviewed or research-oriented. The other ones maybe can be books, that's research as well. Maybe even some audio or an interview or something like that. You can use whatever 15 sources that you can find that relate to your topic, but it has to be, again, nothing from some, social media website or something. I don't want to see that. It has to be research-oriented, okay? Now, I have the instructions posted. Follow my guideline in the instructions on how to do this annotated bibliography and just do it. It should be a paragraph, right? So you write your reference of the source in APA style, and then you do a summary, okay? The things that you're going to be doing is you're going to briefly summarize your article, your resource. Then you evaluate it, okay? And so ask yourself, is this useful? How does it compare with the other sources in your bibliography? Is this information, does this make sense for my paper? Is it reliable? And then you just reflect on it. How does it fit into your research? So it doesn't have to be long, just a short paragraph answering those questions. What you do with that, you are reading your information already, so you know what you need to put in your literature review. You understand what your topic, so it won't be so hard to write because you are the expert, remember? Okay, so once you finish the annotated bibliography, I'll just glance over it and see that you've done it. This is your resource. It's not for me, it's for you, but it's a required because it's a great step to help you have a successful research experience. So don't skimp on it, okay? Don't skimp on it. When you're finished with that, then you're going to move on and start writing your literature review. And as I said in my other video, I talked about this. The literature review is a synthesis. It's you group all of this information you found from all of these 15 sources and you put it in a paper. Think about when you write a research paper in an English class. You pull different resources and you come up with the paper. You come up with the information. So you might find information about your topic from 3 different references, right? Incorporate those together. They might all 3 say the same thing and you in text reference it. They might have different opinions. Write about that. With a literature review, it's really important to have subheadings, topics that go under your actual topic that you're doing. So you have the main topic that you already decided on, and then you have subtopics, okay? So you might be talking about how to soothe a baby, right? That could be what you want to find out. How do you soothe a baby that's crying, okay? So your question, that's your question. So you might find 15 sources on how to soothe a baby. What does research say about what's the best way to do that? Well, there's going to be all different angles, right? And you're going to put it together and combine it. So one subtopic could be specific ways to specific techniques to soothe the baby, and maybe the different sources talk about the different techniques. Another topic could be the science behind soothing a baby. What does it do with their brain? And you might have some things about that. And so you're giving us a lot of information, the reader a lot of information, right? It may not directly relate to what you are going to do in your original research, but it should relate. Because what you're doing in the literature review is telling us what is already out there about this topic. And then you are going to add to the research. You're adding to the research by doing your own little experiment, right? Remember, you're not going to publish this unless you want to. So it's not going to be probably something you're proving. This is about your experience, okay? So don't panic, right? If you're trying to do something really scientific, you're going to have to, if you're going to interview people, you're probably going to have to interview more than 5 people. But the requirement for this class is just to interview 5 people, right? Because this is just giving you a taste on how to be a researcher. You're not going to publish this, okay? But it could be something you take to grad school and say, you know what, I think I'm going to expand this topic because I'm really interested in it. And then you actually do it where you could possibly get a significant result, okay? So I hope this helps for you to understand why it's important to do your annotated bibliography and do not skimp on it. You're starting your work right now. You are researching your topic and finding everything out about your topic and the question that you're going to ask, okay? Know what's out there, and then that will help you set up your own research study. All right, hope this helps. Have a good weekend.